Alright, welcome back to Super Ultra Budget Magic Online. Today I'm playing a deck called Vampire Stamina. I'm going to mulligan this because I couldn't afford to cast anything in my hand, and here I'm having trouble with mana as well, so I just may mull myself into oblivion. I'll mull that too. A little better, I'll keep this. Queen's Commission, not bad, but I would rather have land. I'm going to put that on bottom for now. Maybe some sort of green-black energy deck. Tune with Ether is a pretty excellent card. I'll put out a Vicious Conquistador. Okay. Getting some new stuff out. And based on how that works, I guess it's Call to the Feast. And he knows that I'm playing vampires. Happy to see another land. I will go ahead and attack. With Supernatural Stamina, that ends up being kind of a blowout because I would get my own card back in hand. I don't have any right now, but we may get to see some as this match progresses. He's flying, so I'll take it. Certainly don't mind seeing another Vicious Conquistador. If I swing with those two, I will get 3 damage in, but I will lose a Conquistador, so for now, I will hold back. If he swings with the Rogue Refiner, I can block it, and he would only take 1 of mine. That is to say I could double block it. Not that that's a bad deal for him either. Rogue Refiner gets so much when it enters the battlefield that it's worthwhile. I like a lot of the things that he's doing with this deck. Interestingly, he's done things that have gotten him bonuses for +1 counters and some energy, but he hasn't started using any of those things yet, so I'm curious what else his deck is going to start doing. A nice move on his part. And I'll just sit right here. Looks like he's getting me for 6 here. I can take that. So it's too early to get anything out of Trial of Solidarity. I wouldn't get a whole lot out of Bishop of the Bloodstained, except that it would be another body on the battlefield, which would be helpful for me at this point. I'm going to go ahead and pass turn. I'm probably going to have to jump block something with this Conquistador. Works much better when I'm the aggressor. And I may need to retool this deck with a little bit of a lower curve. But it's tough to say much when I've had to mull to 5. The biggest one is actually the cub. And so I will go ahead and block that because it also prevents it from getting the extra energy, dealing combat damage to me. Paladin works pretty well for me right here. Gets some bodies out anyways, not to mention some lifelink. He's got the whole team coming at me again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I can only handle 6 damage. I've got to block the long tusk cub. And then the question becomes whether I can afford to double block it with my paladin. But he can pump it right there. So then I'm probably better off using the paladin to take out something else. So this one works here, and this one, I don't like him being able to use that constrictor. But he may get one more use out of it right here. I've got to put out a body, even though there's no bonus for it coming out with no no other vampires out. It doesn't do much. And he's got 2 swingers. I'm tapped out. He knows that he's got me, so we'll go to game 2. He's got some creatures here. Big fan of the Fairgrounds Warden. Trial of Ambition. It's cheap removal. It doesn't do a whole lot in terms of real powerful stuff for me, but it's not bad. I will take out part of my top end in favor of a little more removal. This grind to dust is going to put -1 counters. And I'm trying to think of how that's going to interact with Winding Constrictor. Yes, I would like to play first. Got land. I can work with this. Considered putting some Evolving Wilds in here, but it ends up giving you a tapped land, which is not what I was trying to do at the time. Let's see, Winding Constrictor says if one or more counters would be placed on an artifact or creature you control, that many of those counters +1 are placed on that permanent instead. So Grind to Dust ends up being pretty fantastic against a Winding Constrictor. And I can use both sides of the card, so that's nice too. Seeing as how I've got a Trial of Ambition and not a Winding or a Grind to Dust, I will I'll have him sack it. Well, now I've got plenty of land. Torment of Scarabs can grind folks for a lot of value. Doesn't do a whole lot right off the bat, but the issue with it, and with some of the most powerful black spells in the set currently, is that it gives the opponent the chance to really pick their poison. But the overall power level is still very high. Can't quite afford to cast both of these. So for now, I'll cast the Commission. I would have liked to cast maybe from Fine as well, but we're only on turn 5 here. So I can block nothing, or I can block both, or I can double block the glint sleeve siphoner when it's drawing. It's a card, and he only loses 1 life for that, which ends up being a better deal than what he gets with the Torment of Scarabs. So I will go ahead and double block. I'm going to be upset if he's got a trick, but wouldn't be surprised if he does. Hexproof, +2/+2. There's that Blossoming Defense. Oh well. Okay. I can work with that. Okay. Hostage Taker. That card is a bomb. I really like his deck. It ends up being card advantage, it ends up being removal. It's good card advantage too. And it's good removal. I don't have anyone to block with. So that's a nice chunk for him to take. It would be nice if I got a Fairgrounds Warden here that I could take out his Hostage Taker with, but sometimes it's just not going to be quite that smooth. I'll get a body out there so that I can block with something. There's so much removal going on with these mid-range decks in Standard right now that it's hard to keep a lot of bodies on the board. And that might be part of why this deck that I'm playing looked so good when I was playing it against my wife. We don't play as much removal as what you typically encounter in the regular metagame. Alright, that's the only one that I can block. It spares me from a big chunk. Looks like Torment of Scarabs was the only thing that made that game anywhere near interesting. I've got 8 life. He swings with the team. I block the biggest one. I think he still got me. That's game.